Okay, my hair is looking absolutely crazy, but whatever. I've been wearing a hat all day long. I decided I'm going to pop in and try to do another live because, let me see. Mm-mm. Is that right? I'm trying to check on. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, I just got my computer back from Best Buy. hmm Had to send it to Best Buy and let them figure it out. I got my Chiefs shirt on. We had a game today. It is, y'all know what it is. It's live. I'm acting like I'm vlogging. It's not even 5 o'clock. And girl, I've already been drinking all day, all day, all day. We had a game, a noon game today. So I've already been drinking. I'm already turned up, and I'm supposed to go out tonight and drink. Like, I'm somebody grandmama. I need to get it together. I really do. Hey, Shell, how you doing? I have not been on for a minute. I was just talking about that. I got my computer back from Best Buy because the last time I tried to go live, you were the one who told me that y'all couldn't hear me. So it was an issue. I thought I was gonna have to buy a new laptop. I could go, and I know I could do it from my phone, but y'all, I only have one phone. I haven't gotten as good and savvy as some of the other content creators. I legit just have one phone. So if I'm on it, nobody can call me, nobody can text me or any of that stuff. But I have missed y'all. It has been, let me just say, life been lifing. You get to a stage and age where the 50 plus club, this is cool because I'm independent, I'm out and about, I'm doing the most, I'm living life, all those things. But as I've gotten older, my parents, my family, and all of that stuff has gotten older. So, long story short, life has just been life, and I've been taking care of some things. Got my gloves on, put my robe on because I don't want to mess up my t-shirt, and I need to wash dishes. Because let me turn the camera a little bit. There we go. All right. And I need to wash some dishes because before the game, I made some cinnamon rolls. Let's move the flowers out of the way. There we go. They're lovely. But I made cinnamon rolls and all that stuff, and then I just left. I did. I left the kitchen a mess. I can't go to bed with it a mess, and I don't really like leaving the house. But had I left later, I'd have been too late for the game. So anyway, I have been, like I said, life has been lifing, and I'll share with y'all. Y'all are my internet friends anyway. But my mom had a medical procedure. She had a small surgery. I'm going to call it that, and I've been busy. So, between her having the surgery, picking her up, taking her, just helping her to recuperate, and on top of that, having computer issues. Plus, I've been working. I just haven't been getting on. But I will be honest and say that watching your vlogmases, friends, they have really been helpful. They have been getting me through. Like, I'm sitting in the waiting room watching vlogmases. I'm waiting to hear results and things like that, watching vlogmases. So it's funny trying to be a creator, but also being on the other side of that and appreciating that when creators create, it really can help you get through a period. But anyway, I'm jumping on now, and I feel like most of y'all should be out doing your Christmas shopping and all of that. I'll be honest, I'm lazy this year. This year, it's cash, it's gift cards, it's stuff like that. So I don't have a whole lot of Christmas shopping to do. I figure I'll miss a lot of y'all now, but maybe you'll catch me. A lot of you play the videos back, and I appreciate the love. And speaking of which, I'm going to address it just because not one, not two, but now three people have mentioned it. Two people in a comment, and I went ahead, and it wasn't offensive, but I went ahead and deleted your comments just because I didn't want to be. Am I making too much noise? I don't even know. Let me just stop washing dishes and get still for a minute. But I went ahead and addressed your comments because, I deleted your comments because I didn't want to seem messy, but I did want to go ahead and address it. And so I'm just going to say this in case anybody else has noticed. But yeah, the comments came to me. For anyone who doesn't know, let me just say this. The comments came, and it was a matter of, hey, so-and-so creator is deleting your comments on your videos. And I noticed that because I was getting ready to comment under one of your comments. And like me, here's what I do. I sometimes watch y'all's videos on TV monitors and things like that. Now, when I was in the waiting room, I was just watching it on laptop, so I could really quickly respond. But even this morning, I was watching when Zarina, hey girl, I know you're watching, but when she went live, I was watching her video on my television because I was also cleaning up. And at one point, I even said, hey, sorry for the delayed responses, but I don't know if I told them I was mopping, but that's what I was doing. I was mopping. And so in order to comment, I would have had to stop and then type. And so I was like, excuse my delayed responses. So a lot of times when we're viewing, we view off TV and then we comment either on our phones or on the computer, right? Sorry, I've been eating spicy food today too and drinking. But anyway, the person said, well, two people said that they noticed that my comments, of course I'm going to choke out on live. Girl. Of course I choke on live. Let me get some water, y'all, or something to drink. And I never have bottled water in my refrigerator, but I just so happen to have one now. Woo, that saved me. But they said something about how they saw that my comments had been deleted from somebody's page. And basically, they were asking me if that person and I have a problem. Here's my answer. No, not that I know of. When I do something offensive, y'all, I don't mind admitting to it. Because like I said, I told you before in a live that I had just uploaded a video. I was looking at someone else's and I said, oh, I just uploaded a video about that. And in hindsight, I realized that when I said that, it probably sounded like I was promoting myself. I literally went under their comment, edited, took my part out where I said I had just uploaded a video like that and all that. With the case of this person who is now deleting my comments, I know of nothing offensive that I've said, like at all. So I can't. The first person that told me about it, I was just like, they probably overlooked it because they were probably scrolling and just missed it, looked too fast. So I didn't even comment back. I just deleted their comment while I was at work. It's also hard, no offense, y'all, but it's hard for me to comment back to you. Like if I upload a video and I'm at work, chances are I'm probably not going to comment on it until like after 4:30 my time, because I'm at work and I got kids in my face, or I got lunch. My lunch is only like 20 minutes long, so that's why. And it's no rudeness, but I just deleted it because I didn't want it to seem messy. And then another person made the same or similar comment, like, hey, I noticed so and so deletes your comments. Did y'all have a problem, or is there something there? And I don't think they were really saying it to be messy. I think they were trying to let me know. And I was like, no, not that I know of. So I'll admit that by the time I got an email, because I got 2 messages and an email, by the time I got an email, I did go back and I looked and I was like, oh, you're right. They are deleting my comments. I don't know what that is. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. If you know anything about me, you know that I feel like Google has a boatload of money. So there's money for everybody to make. The idea that was brought to me was that, oh, I guess they don't want you to be seen on their channel. I have a hard time with that because I feel like all of us in the 50 plus club know that there's enough money out there to go around. So I hope that's not the reason. If it is, then so be it. But you know what? Here's my plan. Here's what I plan to do about that. I'm going to tell you, this is the honest to God's truth. I'm gonna keep watching their video and I'm gonna keep supporting, like, because that's just my nature. I want everybody to win. I'm like Issa Rae on that. I'm rooting for every Black woman to win. That's what it is, y'all. So if that person has a problem with me, then God bless their heart. If they see that, then they can address it with me. But I'm just not gonna trip on it. I choose not to care. So that's what that is. All right, let's see. Hey, D-Dub. Hey, you finally made it to a live. I'm glad you're here, girl. And I ain't talking about nothing at all so far. I just put on my robe because I know you're going to be mad, but Chiefs won again. You know how it is. I feel like, oh, what was that? Was that the 5 heart boot? Yeah, when he was drunk and he came out. But that's I don't know why I just thought of that. Girl, so this is why I don't need to be going live, because how do I edit that out? I really don't. I'm stuck with that on these internet streets. But yeah, I'm feeling good. As I said earlier, I've been drinking. It ain't nowhere near 5 o'clock. And I'm supposed to go out later today. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my hair. All day I've been wearing a hat. So I tried to put on a headband because we just right there. The headband make it look a little more gooder. So I tried to put on a headband just to make it look a little better since I've been wearing a hat. But on my way back, I had a package and I know exactly what it is. It's my Christmas gift to my doggone self. I don't know if y'all saw it or not. And I've been trying not to talk too much about products and things to buy because, I mean, it's Christmas season. Some people celebrate it. I know a lot of people. I can't find my scissors, y'all, so I'm trying to use a pen to open this up. But I know a lot of people experience seasonal depression at this time of the year. So I'm not doing a whole lot of talking it up. And for those of you who do experience it, because I'm not going to lie, also during this month, okay, so I've been talking about my mom had a procedure, but this is also the month that my father passed away. And so I've also had to deal with that. And so one of the ways to cope with it is I just chose to spend the day with my mother. You know, I mean, I don't want to spend the day thinking about it, being sad, and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I chose to spend the day with her and just try to relish the goodness of it. So for anybody experiencing seasonal depression, and don't get it twisted, I've had some psychology classes, but I'm not near saying that I am a psychologist. But I would say if part of what hurts you is knowing that you don't have the traditions that you had before, I say make new traditions, make new stuff, and find a way to include that person. I don't know, like for some people, they like setting a whole chair and a table, and that's not my zhish at all. But I would say, you know, for me, I would probably say a little quick prayer or a funny story, because my father had a million funny stories. Like he was that guy that when he came into the room, it lit up. He was just Mr. Personality in that way. And so, of course, his presence is extremely missed. But, you know, just telling a story or something in that way. And in no way am I trying to minimize seasonal depression. I understand it, but I don't get it. Like I don't have it for myself. I do feel a little bit of the woe, but not full on depression, would I say. And therefore I don't really feel experienced in saying it. But since someone asked me about it before, I will say that much. I think it's a matter of making new traditions. I think it's a matter of honoring that person in a positive way. I would not venture into, y'all see, that's why I couldn't go live on my phone because my phone kind of gets busy. There we go. And let me put it on silent. I'll put it on silent and face up. So if you end up seeing me look down, it's just because I'm responding to that. But getting back to the seasonal depression, it's about making new memories and focusing on new stuff. But I have seen people, I feel like they punish themselves. Like the holidays come up and their loved one isn't with them. So they feel like they just have to go into this, you know, extraness of being super sad and they punish themselves. And it adversely punishes everyone around them, including kids and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that if you're hurt, you got to act like, you know, everything is honky dory. Don't do that. Don't, because as a person who has done that, I ended up going to the doctor and the doctor was like, your numbers are crazy. Like my blood pressure, even my cholesterol, everything was just off the charts. And I was like, really? And people looking at me crazy because when my dad passed, people came to me. I was with him when he passed away, right? When he took his last breath, I was there. And so I ended up having to answer questions a lot. Like a lot of people kept calling and saying, what happened? How did it go? Was he okay? Da, da, da. And I had to answer these same questions over and again. And I'm one of those people who compartmentalizes very well. So on the outside, it looked like I was okay. And I was stating facts, you know, yes, he was peaceful. Yes, this happened. It happened this way. You know, we had the lights dim, da, 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 da. And I'm explaining it over and again. but it truly did take a toll on me. So I'll be the last person to say you should fake it. I didn't know it took a toll on me until I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me how bad my numbers were, how absolutely sick I actually was. So I'm not saying fake it. I'm saying acknowledge it, breathe it in, take it in, but then find a better way or a more positive way of, of honoring that person. And for me, that has worked. And my numbers are more gooder. They are. It's been years now, though, that too. But I wish I knew now, don't we all? I wish I knew now what I knew then. And, older me would tell me, younger me, girl, that ain't how you play it out. Do it this way. So for that reason, I'm telling you all, do it this way. Drinking more water, because like I said, I've been drinking things that wasn't water. Mm-mm-mm. Now, back to my package. I got this from Dossier because they had a half off sale. Usually this time of year I buy candles and stuff, but I gotta tell you, since getting those candle warmers, my candles do not burn like they used to be. I still have candles now from when I bought them last year at this time because they're on the warmer. They're giving me the scent and all of that, so I haven't burned them. They don't give me as much scent. I'm not going to play that game. So, it doesn't project as well as it does when you're burning it, but it does project enough to keep my place well scented. And then on top of that, I also use those plug-ins. All right, so coming out of Dossier, I ended up getting, what have I got here? 5? I'm lying, 6. I got 6 in my hand. I ended up getting 6, and I know I got some duplicates. Woody Highest. I could not get that out. This one is the Chance dupe, right? I got that one. Love it. I know I got the Lost Cherry. I got a couple of those. When I tell you that cologne gets a lot of compliments. The Baccarat dupe definitely get. Oh, I got 2 of those. Okay, let me see. Let me just open it up while I'm talking about it. Yep. The Ambery Cherry, that is the Baccarat. The Baccarat. I got Baccarat on the blade. Ambery Cherry is the Lost Cherry dupe. I ended up getting a couple of those. I mean, for half price, I got all 6 of these fragrances for like $123, if I remember that to be my total. Ambery Saffron, that is the Baccarat dupe. So I ended up getting 2 of those. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these boxes. Trash day already passed. Oh, let's hope I'm not making too much noise. And I don't get the insurance, but look at how this is just rattling around. I'm glad my bottle didn't bust. I'm going to tell you, I don't get the insurance that they offer because they'll let you return it anyway. I don't remember this one. Fruity Neroli. It smells good, but what is this a dupe of? And that's what I don't like. I don't think they tell me the dupes. They sure don't. I don't know what this is a dupe of, but I do like it. I just don't know what it is. If y'all know, what is Fruity Neroli? Well, can I turn it the right way? What is that? A dupe of? I have no clue. And so this is what, another Lost Cherry? All of them are rattling. Oh, okay. Yep, 2 Lost Cherries, 2 Chances, the Fruity Neroli, whatever that is, and the Fruity Almond. But these were all half price. I'm not mad at this. 6 fragrances for $120 some odd dollars. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I came in here to wash dishes and I thought I'd chat it up a little bit while I did, but I think I'm making too much noise with this. So let me put my boxes. I'm excited. Bought myself this. Oh, I'm way too loud. Okay, let me just get out of the kitchen. So something about the kitchen just makes me loud. But anyway, let's turn off some lights. Sorry, I'm all up in y'all's grill. And it gets dark too. And just head to the bedroom and let me sit my tail down somewhere. And let's talk like we civilized people. But anyway, what have I been up to? I told you all my mom had a medical procedure. I've been working. But guess what now? We on vacation now, baby. It's so funny because my daughter and I are on opposite sides of this. Oh, I forgot my phone. Speaking of my daughter. Let me grab my phone. Sorry. When I'm off work, She's on full-time mommy mode, so she's trying to figure that out. And I'm gonna tell you, I ain't even ashamed to admit it. I'm that grandmother. I'm the one that watches my granddaughter when I want to, because I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. So she and I hang out, we have our good times, and then baby, you got to go back home. hmm hmm Callie got toys at Mimi's house, but it's still Mimi house. Like you go to your house, you got mommy house, daddy house, y'all's house, and then this is Mimi's house. So she's got toys here, but no, I'm nowhere near gonna watch her for my whole break and all of that stuff. And I don't even have a trip or anything planned for this break. I'm in chill mode. I haven't even planned a trip yet for my birthday. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm on a budget, but I ain't broke. I am nervous about the tariffs and everything else that's coming up, but I can't let that stop me from living my life because who's to say I'm gonna live till the next term? Tomorrow ain't promised. So yeah, I need to still get out there, plan something, do something. I do have a cruise in mind that I want to take in October. It's a Virgin cruise, actually. Isn't that weird? But yeah, I've never been on the Virgin Cruise Line, so I want to try that. If I see some pineapples, I promise y'all I'm taking pictures. I am, because I'm trifling like that. I need some glasses because I forgot the chat. Comments are small. I'm all over the place. Girl, this going live was half minute. I need to take the headband off because the headband and the glasses don't really go together. Y'all don't laugh at my hair. So let me see. Yep, life is good. I'm feeling good about that. You're over in the East Coast and it's almost, do you mean, okay, you mean 6 o'clock. I thought you meant 6 degrees because it's pretty cold here. It's chilly here. I should say it's not really cold. It's just 35 degrees. Let's see. You keep forgetting to check out those. Yeah. Oh, you missed it then. You missed the sale because it was a good one. A lot of times they have the if you buy so much, then you get a certain percentage off. But no, this was just a straight up 50% off. And so I jumped in on it. I did. And y'all, I also dived into some Teemu stuff. I'm so mad at me. I'm mad at y'all, actually. I'm mad at y'all because y'all are the problem. Because y'all are the ones that told me Teemu was safe, but y'all don't be contributing to my Teemu stuff. I ended up putting 18 items in the cart. Went from 0 to 18, and some of that stuff is starting to come through. The delivery is not bad. Can I tell you that Teemu is delivering about as fast as Amazon Prime? And I'm paying for Prime. Yeah, I know something about a strike. I don't know if they actually went on the strike or not, but I'm talking about even before the strike, Amazon was sending me I'm sorry's and your delivery has been delayed. But for anybody going through that, let me tell you, you need to let them know that you're not happy with that. You need to voice a complaint because when I do, they give me credit. And I don't voice a complaint some of the times. I voice it every time. Oh, my Aunt Pearl don't have an aunt named Pearl at all. But my Aunt Pearl, she was looking forward to some of that stuff. Because some of the stuff I get on Amazon, I buy for my mother. And, now, we're doing without. And I've even gotten on live and talked to an actual person when I complain. I'll tell you, you get more for that. But all money don't be good money. Because when I talk to someone live, no offense, but it's hard for us to communicate. Their accent is thick. My understanding is limited. So you kind of get what you pay for on that one. But yeah, we've been doing that. Amazon Live is a mess. Been buying my stuff off of Teemu. Can't wait to show you all. I'm gonna actually do a real video for that. I haven't even been filming videos. I have not been going live or any other things. Like I've been pretty bad. No, I won't say bad. I've been experiencing life, and everybody goes through those periods. But that's what I've been doing. I bought those curtains. I'm trying to, in my brain, catch up with what I did last time I was live. But I ended up getting the thinner curtains just because they're more breezy. And then when I looked first of all, the thinner ones cost about $20, maybe $30 a panel. They might have been 25, somewhere in there, a panel. And then when I looked for the linen ones, which I thought would be good for adding texture, they were 50 some odd dollars a panel. Did I tell y'all this is a rental? Babe, I'm not finna pay that much for some curtains in a rental. They're not going to go anywhere else. And the reason they were that expensive is because you can't get 84. It needs to be at least 96 because the ceilings here are so high. And then some of y'all were telling me I should get it for the texture, but I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Let me turn on this light. But the walls here, these are actually textured walls. So we don't need that much texture. Not for no 50 some odd dollars. We don't. You not. Nah. Nah. And I ain't told y'all my cash app yet. Y'all ain't contribute. We don't need that much texture. It's not that serious. But other than that, what else has been going on? Last night, I went and I listened to some jazz. I've gone on a date. The date honestly did not go that well. The guy that I'm doing all the catch ups. I'm starting to realize that, dang, we really haven't talked in a minute, girl. So the guy that I told y'all about earlier, that I was like, oh, at least he let me know that I'm interested in dating. Why he circled the block? Why he come back? And I want to say he halfway came back. Well, halfway is all he could do because I'm not letting him back, right? But he halfway came back. And even as we were talking, or I'm listening to him talk, because some of this for me, I need to understand and gain knowledge as to what's going on out there. And I'm nervous. And I'm nervous because it seemed like a lot of pee in the dating pool. It might even be poop in the dating pool because it's looking kind of ishy. It's not looking so great. But one of the things he said too was that I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this is a person of means. He has quite a few dollars, and I'm about to say something that I probably think will not be popular. But there's something about men with a lot of money that kind of makes them a little feminine. Yeah, and even as I say that, I kind of want to take it back. I want to walk it back, but that wouldn't be genuine. That would be quite disingenuous, in fact, because that's the honest to goodness truth. It seems like because he has X amount of dollars, and I don't know his actual net worth. I know he is someone you can Google. I know that he actually he has quite a bit of dollars. But as a person with that, it seems that he honestly thinks I'm going to pursue him. It's like he honestly thinks he gets to sit back and be the woman in this, that I'm going to work that much harder to get him or gain him. And if it's supposed to play like that, I don't know that yet. Nobody, I hear the talking, I hear the noise, and I get it. I'm 50 plus, so it's supposed to be much harder for me to date and all of that, but it'll never be so hard that I'm running somebody down. I flat out don't even care what your net worth is. I don't. It's just not gonna be that. I'm sorry, I'm so busy running my mouth. I'm gonna just check in on the last comment. It says, that makes sense. Men with a lot of money can be feminine. See, I thought it was just me. Arrogant, maybe. Okay, I like that comment too. But yeah, I do feel like he even said something about, why haven't you called me? Because I thought it was clear. Like the last time we talked, I thought we were good. I thought we had an understanding. So why would I call when we have an understanding? I don't know if it was supposed to be, oh my gosh, we're not dating anymore, but let me call to see if I can change your mind, or can you bend over? No. So I think one of the problems is, first of all, I've never acted right. Even when I was a little girl, my mother told me then I had no act right, because she would say, we having this for dinner. It's this, or you can eat nothing. And I was like, cool, I ain't gotta eat. Like, oh my gosh, thank God, because I thought I had to eat that for real. Like I thought that was the only choice. But I can be hungry, I can starve it out. Cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I got popped in the mouth for saying that. But honestly, I wasn't even trying to be smart when I said it. I was like, cool, I ain't gotta eat. Yay, pow. But I've always thought that I have a choice. I feel like, yes, I'm 50 plus, but I'm a happy 50 plus. Like I'm not a miserable 50 plus. I've been married, and I'm not knocking it for anybody. I love marriage. I love love. I love to see couples who are happy and in love. I comment on that stuff all the time. But the only thing that'll deter a woman for real from marriage is an unhappy one. And I've been in an unhappy marriage. That for me is like, yeah, nah. Singlehood looks much better. I promise you. Both hands up on this one. Being single and happy is a lot better than being married and even just just because even when you're responsible for someone else. So even if you're in an mood, you kind of got to hype yourself up to do a good thing for somebody else. You gotta, you know, that like there's just it's just better. I'm feeling good about it. Let's see, it may be harder to date, but when you take care of yourself and still got it going on, financially secure, you have options. Hello, a ding, there it is. I do have options, and if I have no other option, I got me. I'm the option. I'm it. Like I'm genuinely happy at this stage. But like I said, he circles the block and he's telling me things like just in general conversation. He's having his comments, and his comments are stated as if they are facts. Like when I say something, I know it's an opinion unless it's actually a fact. Like there are some facts that I've stated in my videos. Like, for example, I have a hard time judging people who feel trapped in one body when their gender feels like another. Why do I have a problem with that? Because I've been educated in that. And I know that what we thought was really true. We thought XX was girl, XY was boy. We know that's not true. There's XXY, there's XYY, there's XXYY. Like there's a whole plethora of DNA that sometimes happens. And to me, I honestly look at it the same as dimples. It's a birth defect. It's, you know, I think dimples are cute. They're very cute on people, but they're still a birth defect. Why is it a birth defect? Because it's not the general population that has it. The majority of people don't have that. The majority of people don't have XXY. The majority of people don't have XYY. You can't look at a person and tell what they have. So that being the case, I'm glad God said I ain't got to worry about judging because I'm too ignorant to do it right anyway. So all I'm going to do is try to love my neighbor. And like I've said before, my neighbors be making me mad. Like I don't understand. I see them go in and out, and why you leave your trash barrel out? You know you can't. You know it's against the rule. We got a whole HOA that says you got to take your trash barrel in by 7 o'clock on trash day. They still leave it out. So I don't like my neighbors. That's my task. I'm working on that. I'm working on the neighbors who don't pick up the dog poop. So God gave me enough that I need to deal with. I don't need to be worrying about trying to judge people. That's none of my business. Hello, Shell said that part. All right, it says, you are correct. We have options. I had a man tell me I had no options, so I better accept him for who he is. Isn't that crazy? That is absolutely crazy. Says I just got engaged and they lying to us. Hold on to your standards, girl. Like until my fake nails fall off. I got some fake nails on, why not? But yeah, I'm definitely holding on to my standards. And it does. It makes, I swear I want to say something different. I want to be like, no, I don't mean that. I mean this, but no, it something about that money makes a lot of men behave in a more feminine manner. They have whole temper tantrums and all of that stuff. And I'm just not with that. I I've been broke, and now I would say I'm not broke. I'm definitely not rich. I don't make near the money that he makes, but I'm not scrounging around wondering where I'm gonna get my next meal from. I'm not worried about providing a roof over my head. You know, I'm in a better financial place because let me tell you, broke is not ideal. But I've not only been broke, honey, I've been worse than that. I've been in debt. And been in debt. Now that's stressful. That's when you got people's calling you. They want to know when they're gonna get their money. Shoot, me too. I want to know when I'm gonna get my money. We both sitting here wondering, but I'm not calling you. So could you stop calling me? Like, I don't know. So there's where I am. I'm okay. There's rich. I ain't nowhere near that. Bring it on back. There's broke, and then there's flat out in debt. So I'm not in debt. And even if I was, I'd probably go shake something before I bother to settle and bring my standards down like that. Yes, a man with a lot of money, they do have weird behaviors. They honestly do. hmm And a lot of times he'll threaten me in a vicarious manner. Like, well, let me just say, when we were actually talking, he let it be known that he had cut some people out of his will, and they were blood relatives. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, what makes you think that I would be raising my hand? Like, can we get together? Can we get married? Can we, whatever it would be? I'm wiping your butt if you're sick, wiping your puke and all of that stuff. And then I'm cut out the wheel or something strange that you did. Because I'm the person who believes if you do it to them, you'll do it to me, because I can't even contain my mouth enough. Like, I promise you that going back to those days when I was broke, or when I was in debt, I met men with money then. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so good. Oh, I'm gonna be good. I promise I'm gonna let him pay my debt. I'm gonna have him do whatever I'm gonna do. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, thank you, God, for blessing me. I kid you not. I'm telling you the truth. Oh, I'm so glad he's here. He said that one thing that I didn't like, and out jumped the truth. And I was still on Broke Street. I was still trying to figure out how I'm gonna afford my life, because this mouth of mine, the way it's set up, honestly, I would hear me saying stuff, and if I could be my own best friend talking to me, I would, girl, shut the hell up. The man is trying to pay you. Shut up, just a little. I could not do it. So I know my grown self now, and I ain't out here begging for no money. I can afford what I want anyway. No, not at all. And when we were talking, this is something, see, it's all coming out now. But when we had got to the end of the talking situation, he had said something. I made it clear somehow that I'm actually in a rental or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, you would have to give that up. You come over here, you could. Let me tell you something. Even if I thought that I could be a sugar baby, and here I am at this big old age talking about somebody's sugar baby. I don't know what the term is. What is the term when you are a grown woman, but you down for somebody to take care of you? Like, even if I was trying to be that person, I wouldn't give up nothing that no, baby. Because as soon as you act a fool, I want to have somewhere that I can park and I can sleep and I can know that I'm okay and safe. So as soon as he started saying stuff like that, some of the bells and not the bells, the red flags, some of that stuff was like, no, we're not. Because I've been there before. I'm gonna tell you. Should I tell it? I might as well tell it now. Let me read some comments though. I read that one. Let's see. Men with a lot of money are a mess. That is true. I was married for almost 20 years. I refused to rush into another relationship. Single reason, learning and loving me. That's good. She said, "A queen, yes, ma'am. I hope you're talking about yourself, because you are that as well." That whole, oh yeah, that was another thing he said. He said, how do you feel about women being the prize? I feel that's absolutely true. What do you mean? How do I feel about it? Ain't no feelings. It's a fact. Not a T on that fact. It's a fact. Yeah, we are the prize. And I'm not saying that even just from an ego standpoint. I say that too because it's written. Like when you look through the stories of the Bible, and don't let me act like I'm a verse and script and you go to Deuteronomy. I'm not that person. But the stories that I know, I grew up in, Lord knows I grew up. My daddy was a deacon. We would go to church early. Oh, and he was a Sunday school teacher. So let me book in the church experience. On Sundays, we would go first thing in the morning because he had to start up and set up. He was a Sunday school teacher. Then we sit through church, Baptist church. Now, I ain't even got to tell you that was all day. That was all diggity day. Then after that, we would rush home. Now we rush home and eat so we could get back to church at 6:00. Why we rush? Because church lasted that long. Then we come back to Baptist Training Union. I still know my Baptist Training Union speech. I don't want to tell it, but I know it. So anyway, we would do all that. And then not only that, as if that wasn't enough already, he also counted the money. And that took hours. So yeah. I grew up in the church. I'm a heathen now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It don't always stick. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, but he did ask me. Oh, that's what it was. He asked me, how do I feel about the prize stuff? And I was like, women are the prize. There are numerous stories in the Bible where you don't hear about the woman finding a husband. You don't hear about the woman chasing and doing all of that. It's up to him to find us. It's up to him to realize that we are that prize. Now, does that mean that the man ain't worth someone that you honor and all of that? No, because if you've known me for any length of time on my videos, you know that I've copped to the fact that I'm a submissive woman. And I don't have a problem with that. But I ain't submitting to anybody. You're going to have to be somebody who knows what he's doing. You're going to have to be someone who's proven himself to me already. Like, because I'm not a dumb broad. My mother used to say it all the time. That girl ain't dumb. She just looked like that. What exactly that meant, I don't know. I asked her later, and she was like, oh, sometimes when you're attractive, people think you're dumb. They don't think that two things can be true. You can be attractive and intelligent. I don't know if that's what she really meant, but she made me feel more gooder when she said it. So I'll go with that. But anyway, I just feel like women are the prize. But at the same time, I am a woman who believes that there should be one ruler in the household. Now, any good king, any wise king is going to have himself surrounded by people who are also wise and who can also advise him. So I think any man who doesn't allow his woman, his queen, to speak to him is not a man worth leading. He doesn't know what to do with that position. He's not somebody for me. And so it kind of, when I said that before, somebody was like, yeah, it sounds like you're saying you're submissive, but at the same time, you better give me back the power. You better let me be the one to say stuff. Well, you need to let me be someone who can have an opinion. You need to allow me to advise you, because a lot of times, and this is just true of men in general, I have seen situations that the man next to me couldn't see. I have been able to tell him that person is not your friend. That is not a good person for you. And at first, it was met with reluctance, only to be found out that later I was 100% correct. So a lot of times men are just like, that's my boy, that's my homie, that's my whatever. And we as women sometimes can see something that men just can't see in other men. By the same token, there are things that because we're women, we can't see in a man. So when a man is telling you that, no, that ain't just your friend, that man has intentions on you or he has interest in you, a lot of times you can believe that too, if it's a person who's not trying to steer you into their own goodness. But I have on multiple occasions been able to tell the guy that I was next to, that dude is not your friend. He means you no good. He actually means you harm. And I don't even know how I knew it. Sometimes it's because maybe because I've seen them look at something a certain way, or when that guy looked away, they looked at him with a look that kind of told it. So it's all kinds of things like that. But that being said, again, I just go back to, yeah, I'm not a dumb chick. I'm an intelligent woman. And any smart man that I have by my side, he's going to want to listen to that. But yeah, he didn't work out. There is something that can be just a little bit feminine. There's something that makes them think that they should be pursued, they should be chased. He even asked me, when he asked me why didn't I call, he called, we talked. I actually wasn't doing nothing. I was sitting in the waiting room. That was keep it a buck with you. That's part of why I talk. I remember the conversation very clearly. I'd already caught up on some of y'all's vlogmases, and I was still sitting in the waiting room, just kind of waiting, nothing to do. He called, and I debated whether or not I'd answer it. I was like, you know what? Why not? I ain't doing nothing else. And so I answered the phone. We had a conversation, probably lasted about 20 or so minutes. Next day, he was like, well, I look forward to talking to you soon, but you're going to have to express interest too. You're going to have to call me. Oh, okay. All I said was okay. I didn't say I would do it. And so I guess he thought my okay meant I'm going to do it. Now, I was just telling you, okay, I heard what you said. I heard what you said. That's all I meant. So then he called me again and he was like, well, you didn't call me. You didn't text me. I expect that you will. He then, he then told me that if I didn't express my interest, someone else would. And he let it be known that he already has other friends that are also interested. Well, hey, ain't that the problem we had in the first place? The problem we had, just to catch anybody up who didn't know the story, was the reason he was upset with me in the first place was because after we were talking, I told him that I had a date. It was a date that had already been planned prior to him. And not only that, but had he asked me to not go on the date, I probably wouldn't have gone because he had already started piquing my interest. And as it turns out, I actually didn't go on the date because I didn't think it was fair to gentleman number two for me to go on a date when I was still thinking about gentleman number one. But now I'm not really thinking about gentleman number one, and gentleman number two hadn't piqued my interest. So the guy I ended up going on a date with recently was an actual whole nother gentleman. I guess we call him gentleman number three. So the idea that he's trying to give me that men aren't interested is a ball face. And the same thing is true of you ladies out there. If you're thinking that, don't nobody want me, it's just, I might as well just Netflix and chill by myself. And don't believe that. Please do not believe that story. Get your butt up. Get your butt up and get out of the house because they're out there. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I'm also realizing is that whatever it is you say you don't want or you're not interested in, say that in your mind. Say it in your mind, because the more I say, yeah, I don't think I really want to date white guys, the more they come up out the woodwork. It's the honest to goodness truth. And it's not just because I've moved to the area that I'm in. When I go out and about, my hair looks a whole mess, y'all. It is distracting me. So sorry. But whenever I go out and about, clearly it's going to be at night. You see how that popped up like I found child. Um, I go into the city, I go into areas where it's multiracial. And for some reason, I meet up with white guys. I don't know. But I've said before that that's some work that I need to do on myself. And that's just the honest to goodness truth. I've had enough racial trauma. Okay, let's see. Oh no, watching that real pill content on YouTube. Yep, where they preach that women aren't the prize. That's crazy. And like I said before, that's part of what my ex choked on. He started choking on the red pill. Him and all his little friends talking about, I'm praying, you praying, we did praying. When I tell you that was the dumbest. Oh, forgive me for laughing at them. But that's some of the dumbest stuff I think I've ever heard. And they were dead serious about it. But anyway, that's why I enjoy your videos. You're beautiful and small. You're so sweet. I think you said you're an educator. Yes, I am. I teach first grade now. I have taught every grade actually between kindergarten and eighth to some degree. Some of those years I spent as an instructional coach. And it means instructional coach means different things in different areas. But here it kind of meant vice principal-ish plus a coach to teachers. And I love that position. I loved the coaching aspect of it because there's a lot that you can learn in books, but there's a whole lot that you just have to know. A lot of it is instinctual. And I think I have the instinct down pat. I also have the knowledge down pat. But, we keeping that a secret because a lot of times people want to use your intellect and not pay you. And teaching is hard enough. And case in point, I'm trying to make sure I don't tell too much because I ain't ready to quit yet, and I'd rather not be fired. But it needs to be said. There's a trend going on in education where they expect teachers to do everything. They expect us to be everything for every child at all times and maintain the data. Like you have a lot of people wondering, how come these kids aren't learning? Well, because you don't have teachers hardly anymore. You don't. Instead, in the classrooms, they've replaced teachers with social workers, counselors, moms, dentist. Like it's so many other roles that they've given us to take on that teaching almost takes a back seat to it all. And so as they're saying that a lot of our kids have had trauma, this is true. I don't disagree with that at all. A lot of our kids have had trauma. So they've given us trauma training in order to deal with trauma. We know how to evacuate a room, for example. We know how to escort a child out or to call for someone to escort. And we know all these other things. I've probably gotten in the last few years more training for that than I have on actually teaching, on actual instruction, on actual making sure that a child understands. And then if they don't, how to switch that up, how to differentiate that learning and things like that. And yet we're still expected, especially if we have children with IEPs, we're not only expected to do it, but to document it. And the documentation is a whole heck of a lot. Does that mean I don't want them in there? Absolutely not. It means I want some of the other stuff off of my plate so that I can just focus on the children with these special needs or the children who need to learn all the things that they do. Because I honestly feel like all children have special needs. All of them should be learning. But when you've inundated me with all this other training and other things like that, you've kind of tied my hands. And that's not the most popular opinion. I'm not going to say that's actually occurring in my district right now, but I will say across America, that is something that is happening. And so when you hear about people saying there's a teacher shortage, there is not a teacher shortage. I've said this a million times and I'll keep saying it. There is not a teacher shortage. There's just a shortage of teachers who are willing to put up and deal with all the other stuff that you're piling on our plate. If you would take all of that off and just allow us to teach, you would see an influx of teachers. You would not see a shortage. You would literally have an influx. If you allow the counselors to have sessions routinely, just like you have music and PE, let the counselors have a rotation of sessions to deal with trauma. Let the social workers come in and actually deal with let some of that stuff be alleviated. Every time there's a new issue, oh my goodness, the kids are spilling so much milk in the cafeteria at breakfast time. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have the teachers hold the children in the classrooms and eat breakfast, like literally. So now instead of spilling it in the cafeteria, they're spilling it in the classroom. And by the way, let me teach this lesson and try to get this mess up off the floor and get this off the desk. And let me call for a custodian. It's so much going on. And I try not to complain a lot because I understand that I have a lot of parents and a lot of you don't understand a lot of the other stuff that we actually deal with on a daily basis, but it is a lot, like a lot. And I remember years ago when our contracts changed and it said to start dealing with other duties as required. I said then, this was a couple of decades ago, I said then, it's about to hit the wall. They're about to start asking for astronomical stuff. I promise you. They were like, no, we're teachers. Like, they're not going to do that. They've done that. They've done that and then some. Like, even before December, the number of times that some districts, I'm not going to say it's mine necessarily, but the number of times that some teachers have to stay after school hours for which we get paid zero extra dollars. So I don't know if people think we're getting paid more for math nights and ELA nights and back to school night, meet the teacher night, trunk or treat night. What is that? Parent teacher conference nights and all. These are all things that really occur before December. So there are a multitude of nights that happen. There are things that sometimes I want to attend my granddaughters. God forbid, if I was a parent trying to teach and have a child in school, you're asking me to not do a lot of my own stuff with my own family. Like, there's a lot that we have to do and we get much more money for it. So no, there's not a teacher shortage. And I will say that from the tops of a mountain. I need that lie to stop being told on us. There's no teacher shortage. There's just a shortage of people willing to put up with all the foolishness. I'm hanging in there because I know that I have something to offer my kids. I'm still hanging in there because I believe that it's going to get better. But there are some nights when I feel really bad for my profession. I feel bad for anyone wanting to enter it, because the betrayal is that when my daughter got ready to go to school, I literally told her, and this is something we are never supposed to say. And if we say it, we're never supposed to say, we say it out loud. But I literally told her, I'll support any major that you want in college. I'll support it financially, emotionally, all of those other things, any major except education. Don't do it. Unless you literally like getting spit on and having people call it rain, do not go into education. The complaints that we have is just ridiculous. I can't even tell you how many times I've been threatened to sue. I'm going to sue. You're going to sue me for what? Because I told your child no? Your child needed to hear no. Because I told your child to sit down and be quiet? Your child was screaming. Yeah, I told your child to be quiet. They act like I said, shut the F up. But, when you have a child and you're not used to telling your child no, and your child isn't used to saying no, I'm telling you, somebody sent me the two videos, the one in T-Mobile where the kid acted a fool and the one in Walmart where the kid acted a fool. And I had to realize that you're sending me this video because it's shocking to you. I've already seen that. You know what that's called? That's called a day that ends in Y. I've seen that at my job multiple times for no apparent reason. I've heard parents dropping kids off saying, you better not have that B call me for nothing. Meaning you better not have your teacher call me because you're acting a fool. Like, well, what? I mean, I appreciate you sending me the video, but girl, you felt like you had me clocking in. You got me working again. Let me see these comments because I know y'all are probably roasting me. Let me see. Here we go. Let's see. People with specialized certifications. Let's see. I'm a vice principal. Uh-oh. Hope you ain't in my district. Let's see. I'm a vice principal. I can imagine it's hard to have a public life with your job. I'd love to be a content creator, but I'm worried about how I'm perceived or that I can't be my authentic self. And you can't be. To some degree, you honestly can't be. For example, I may be a person who curses. So I may want to get on here and I might want to say my cuss words and all of that. But if I have a parent who sees me curse and they to their child, because kids have literally been told to say things that were not true. I know this is hard for you to believe because you might not do it for yourself. But we have had kids who come to school and I'm looking at the kid. Mind you now, I spend at least 6 or so hours with the kid a day, 5 days a week, 20 days a month for several months. I get to know your child. I love them. I genuinely do have love for them. My job is hard, but let's not separate that from how I feel about the kids. I know and I love these kids. So I'll see them come in the door and they don't look quite right. I'm like, this kid is sick. Something's wrong with this kid. I'll send them to the nurse. They don't have a fever. I wait another hour or so. I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. My baby is this child is sick. They're not really my babies, but like I said, you spend so much time with them, they are. So I'm like, this kid is really sick. I'm giving you an example that I had not so much this year. I won't say it's at my district now. Notice how I make sure I say that. But I sent that child back to the nurse, and sure enough, the nurse was like, "This child not only has a fever, it's a fever of 102." Like, how, what? How did that? How did it come from nowhere? And so, sure enough, we asked the kid what happened, and they said, "I can't tell you. I can't tell you." I said, "What is it you can't tell me?" Now, mind you, I teach first grade, so y'all y'all may think your kids are holding secrets, but they can't really hold it. And they're like, "I can't tell you that my mama gave me medicine so I wouldn't look sick and I could come to school." So you knew your kid was sick. You gave them something to suppress their fever. Okay, the fever is suppressed because that's how we send kids home. If they have a fever, we end up calling the parents to come pick them up. The fever is suppressed, but the kid still feels sick. The head hurts, the stomach hurts, the lethargy, the all of that stuff is still occurring. All you did was dope your kid up enough to get back in the game. It's no different than, like, the football players that get that shot and they can go in. They're still messed up inside. But you do that because I'm going to presume that it's because you can't call off work or you don't have a babysitter or whatever the reason is. But there's got to be a shift in the priorities, because all I'm doing is I'm having to drag this kid along. I'm having to, and it makes me feel like the jerk when I'm not. I'm not the one that sent a sick kid to school doped up. So yeah, it does alter some of the stuff that you say. Like, I can't be my most authentic self. But even when I say things like that, or I even had I'm talking about the kids being whispered to of the stuff that they can't say. I had a kid say something about how I cursed them out and I did whatever. And I was like, nah, actually, I don't even curse. And at that time, I did curse in my personal life, but not, in my work life at all, which is also why I make sure I don't cuss on my channel. Like, if there is something I wanted to slip and say, there could be a parent that says, see, I know she curses. There it is. She's on footage. I've got footage of her cursing. So, just say that you curse. And then people literally, even as teachers don't get paid a lot, try to sue us all the time. I'm going to sue. There's always this threat of suing, and every threat has to at least be, I won't say entertained, but it has to be looked into. You know what I mean? And that is stressful because you never know. Is this going to be the time where it actually works? Or is this going to be the time where, the union doesn't rep me well? Is this, you don't know. So yeah, you're right to be worried about that. You want to be a content creator, but you're worried about how that could show up. It's a legit worry when you have people trying to sue you all day, every day for no real reason. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? We had a parent ready to fight a teacher this week. Come to find out, their child lied to them. I have had that happen on multiple occasions. My ex-husband and I, we were in the car behind a bus, and something hit the windshield. And I was like, what was that? And he said somebody threw something out of the bus. We get up to the side of the bus. Lo and behold, it's a bus from my own school. So as soon as the bus made the first stop, I was like, keep following that bus. As soon as they make the first stop, I jumped up and I'm ready to get on the bus. The bus driver doesn't recognize me because I had car duty. I didn't have bus duty. So they didn't know who I was. So I take a couple steps up. I stop in the front. I said, I don't mean to be offensive. Kids, do you all know who I am? They were like, yeah, hi, Mrs. Brad. They said my name. So I told the bus driver. So I just said that so that you would know I'm an actual teacher in the district. And I said, one of you little raggedy kids threw something out the window. Like, what was that? No, I said, one of you kids threw something raggedy out the window, because whatever it was, it broke. When it hit the windshield, it broke. And so I had raggedy in the wrong place. But I said, one of y'all threw something raggedy out the window. By the time it was done, one of the kids went home and said, I told you, raggedy mother, y'all better not throw another. Like, they had me cussing a whole stream of curse words. Here's the problem. Buses got cameras on them. So as they're saying that, I can't even jump up and be like, you a lie. I can't wait for you to be proven wrong. Because what if I said all that and the camera had a glitch or the camera wasn't on? Stuff like that actually happens. So I had to wait that out to see, is this going to take root? Is there going to be a problem with this? And it wasn't until they actually produced the footage that the kid said, oh, I thought she did. Like, we actually had to go through several steps before finally they acknowledged that, no, I didn't curse them out. So you're right to be nervous about that. If you want to be a content creator, you got to keep your nose real clean or look to get sued. Let's see. You had to transfer because there was no way the kid could go back to teaching. That happens too. I've seen that. So far, that has not happened to me. I have had the kids transfer. The kids got found out. The kids had to move and they had to go on. I've had parents that have had to leave my classroom. I've had all kinds of stuff. But I've literally had people try to get me fired. Like, are you doggone serious? You want to get me fired because I'm calling on you to do what I think you should do? Cool. You know what I'm going to do? I keep it cute and mute. I don't so much as send homework home. I don't, because we've had parents complain about the homework. Like, my kid is in a sport and my kid is doing this, that, and they ain't got time to do all that. And why y'all having them do that? If you were doing your job correctly in the first place, then they shouldn't even have homework. Another time, I had a parent mad at me. I think I might have been teaching first grade that year too. But I had, just in the weekly progress reports, I was writing about this, that, and another. This kid cried because the other kids in class knew how to tie their shoes, but that kid didn't. If you notice, I don't even let you know the sex of the kid I'm talking about. But anyway, this particular kid didn't know how to tie their shoes. So they were bothered by it. And I just wrote a quick note. I was like, by the way, little Johnny or Susie also, wants to learn how to tie shoes. But when I tell you, the note came back to me. If you think my child needs to learn how to tie their shoes, you need to teach my child how to tie their shoes. You're the teacher. That's part of your job. Do I need to tell you what your job is? Or do you, like, the note was full blown nasty. And if you ask me, that was dead wrong. All right, I'll teach your kid how to tie shoes. No problem. I taught my daughter how to tie her shoes when she was like 3, maybe going on 4. So I don't have a problem teaching a 6, 7-year-old how to tie their shoes. By the way, you mind going ahead and teaching them this science, this math, this reading right here? Can you teach them all the letters and sounds and all that other stuff? Can you teach them you do my job while I do your, never mind. I ain't even going there. But anyway, it says, LOL, homework is an issue. Yep, you don't send it, you're a bad teacher. And if you send it, you're causing the kids stress with the added pressure. That's the absolute truth. Listen, I can tell you this whole full story right here. Don't get me started on teaching. You want to know about a shortage? Ask the teacher why there's a shortage. As a matter of fact. So I'm working at a building and we're getting trained on how to break up fights because it's that bad. The fights is just ridiculous. And I've never taught in a junior high. I mean, I've taught 8th grades, but it was still within the confines of a K through 8 setup. So I've never taught in a junior high, a middle school, or a high school. I've subbed in the high school before, but them kids right there, woo, baby, they try you. So anyway, they're teaching us how to break up a fight. And they're being very, very clear. If I pull child A away from child B in the middle of a fight, and while I'm pulling child A, child B gets a lick in, and let's say they break something in their orbital area, break their nose, do whatever, guess what? I can get sued because I was restraining child A from being able to properly defend themselves. Okay. Okay. I can say that makes a little bit of sense. That does. And then okay, that makes sense. Then they got to another part of the session where they were saying, if I see children A and B fighting and I don't get in to intervene and pull one away and child B strikes child A and breaks something on their face, I can get sued because I didn't break the fight up. Okay, but see what you said a couple 2 or 3 minutes ago was that if I was, pulling in and then I could, so I probably don't understand. So now you know where it stands. It's right there with what's that movie, The Town? It was The Town. When you had that cop sitting in the car, he might have been eating a donut. I don't know what he was doing. I decided he was eating a donut. Child, don't ask me. But he's sitting in the car and he sees them come over and they robbing the bank. He looks at them full on, doing all the things they're doing. They might have been taking off their mask, stuffing the money in the bag. I don't know what they were doing. I can't remember. But when he saw them and he saw them see him, so y'all are about to put me in a position where I got to turn my head from kids that are fighting because if I break it up and I don't break it up right, then I can get sued. But if I don't break it up, then I can get. The only other choice you give me is if I don't see it, then I just didn't see it. But you can also sue me for that because guess what? I was being negligent and I should have been more observant. Y'all, I mean, when I tell you the trick bag is real, that trick bag is real and it is huge. Y'all just don't know. And y'all worried about suing us. You need to sue the people making up the doggone rules. Let's see. We can't physically restrain during fights. See there? I don't break them up. I tell them, you better be a good fighter. Stop Stop it. Stop. I can't talk to you. You're ignorant. But let me keep reading. Oh my goodness. Now I can't see because you got me crying. Oh, better be a Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. My sinuses are also backed up. I can't see with my glasses on without them because I'm crying too bad. Lordy, let me go back. What does that say? We can't physically restrain during fights. I don't break them up. I tell them, you better be a good fighter. If you start the fight, so students don't fight in front of me. LOL. You ain't lying, LOL. But yeah, that's what I've told them too. And not only that, but I sat here, I made all these lesson plans, I made all these copies, and you want to stop and doggone fight? It better be worth my time too. I mean, I'm talking about Mike Tyson up in here. I'm gonna need you to really duke it out. But yeah, people don't realize just how hard it is. It got to a point where my mother, you crack me up. My mother used to hang out with some of the other people over at McDonald's, and they would talk about teachers and all of that. And it was really upsetting to her because, you know, she's sitting here on this secret that her daughter is also an educator. And they're talking about teachers these days. They don't care. They don't this, that, and another. And my mother has seen me come home. I have cried. I have prayed. We have prayed together, you know, for the kids. So my mother knows full well that that's a bald-faced lie with regard to me. And with regard to most of the teachers I know, we genuinely care. We carry these kids in our heart. How can we not? We spend so much time with them during the day. But I'd say during the week, yeah, we easily spend more time with them than parents do. I mean, like if you clock the hours on that, by the time you get them home, you get them fed, you get them bathed, they're going to bed. So a lot of the time you spend with them is asleep. They better not be asleep. And Lord knows I can't be asleep when they're with me. So, you know, yeah, we spend a lot of time with them. But my mother was talking about how stressful it is and how hurtful it is to hear people say things like that. And I was like, you know, if they ever ask you what I do, tell them I'm a stripper. And my mother was like, that's the most ridiculous thing, da, 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 da. Well, my mother, I didn't get my ignorance from nowhere, you know. So she said, I'm going to try it. She went on next time she tried it. And so she said, yeah, I have never wanted to really talk about it, but my daughter is a stripper. She strips. And she said, first they got quiet. Then after that, they were telling her things like, well, the economy is so bad. And they just started talking about the negativity of politicians. Whereas had she said I was a teacher, they would have been talking about, well, what's going on with these teachers? Why they not teaching? So it's better for me to be a stripper, apparently, in society than it is for me to be a teacher. Like, I don't get blamed as much. People just understand that, yeah, I mean, she's stripping. It's pretty bad out there. She's doing what she can to make ends meet. God bless her. God bless her. She said the number of times they say God bless her. But when she has said in another McDonald's, because she used to go to a couple, like she would go to one on Saturdays, another one on Tuesdays, and all that other stuff. But anyway, when she went to another one where they did know that I was a teacher, that's when they were asking her, what's going on with these teachers? What's going on? The kids ain't learning nothing. They just keep on passing them. Why do you think we passing them? You think we made that up? Huh? Do you? Or do you think perhaps that's coming from somewhere and they're telling us that we just hope that they catch it in the next year? Hope that they get it later. You know, we need help. We just do. Even with us doing it 6 hours in a day, 6 hours isn't dedicated to reading. 6 hours is dedicated to reading and math and writing and science and specials, meaning art, music, PE, and recess and lunch. And you know what I'm saying? We got to walk back and forth. So y'all are wondering why we don't teach them reading. We got them 6 hours a day. Oh, and according to that one parent, I need to be doggone teaching them how to tie their shoes. So yeah, baby, we need help. Like, I tell my parents, and this is for any other parents out there, you'd be surprised at the wonders of reading 20 minutes a day. I usually get, is it fries or doshes? Either one will suffice. But if you get fries, sight word list, or doshes, sight word list, and you put those on cards, you flash them, start with pre-K, go over to first, second, third, and so on, according to your child's grade level. Put it on a list, put that list on the refrigerator, highlight the words that they know so that they can see their own growth. Maybe in, September, you highlight in pink. October, you highlight in orange. November, you highlight in brown. So they can chart and see their own growth month by month, but work with them 20 minutes a day. And then after you read a story, if you're reading a story to them, ask them little questions like, what do you think the character did next? What do you think they did tomorrow? Yeah, the page ended here. The story ended here, but their imagination should be able to take them further and beyond. And now you're teaching them to really think and infer and all these other things that are necessary, that are really a part of reading. Because reading the word RED spells red, that's only a portion of it. But understanding that, what you can do with that and how it can answer questions, that's the real strength in reading. Oh, I slipped into teacher mode. Let me shut up and get back into content creating and read here. Can't physically restrain. I saw that. Yes, exactly. I'm not sure what that was. Probably something I said, but thank you. Let's see. The fights in my school are terrible. I get mad when they call me after a student fight. Yep. I have to write this long report. Yep. Yep. And then it's all lost. You're right. It's a whole waste of time. Listen, when things change and smart strippers start trending, it's time for it is. That's a doggone shame. But yeah, it would have been better for me to be a stripper than for me to be a teacher. I'm gonna tell you about the time I thought I had a whole lot of paperwork coming up. Because if you think schooling has changed, so has parenting. It has this gentle parenting. I'm gonna talk about it. I mean, I'm gonna say something. Be mad at me if you want to, but I'm sitting there talking at a parent-teacher conference, telling the parent about how I have written X number of letters and notes and done all of this, and I haven't heard anything back. And the parent was like, "Well, I haven't gotten those. I haven't seen any of those." Kid steps up and says, "You a lie? I gave them to you." I flinched, because mind you, I'm in elementary school. How do you say that to your parent? And you still keep this thing called a face? Because my mother would have knocked it off my whole neck in one smooth motion. Bip, and probably wouldn't even looked at me. Like, not even the respect of looking to see if I fell. Oh, that baby fell, that baby hurt. Bip. And if I would have fallen, that's just what the heck I would have gotten. But I was like, I got to file this report. I'm a mandated reporter. I'm going to have to say my thing. I'm going to have to. And then it dawned on me, this kid didn't even get hit. Instead, the parent was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. I did get that letter. I'm sorry." What? When I tell you I rushed through the rest of that conference, because, baby, I need you to get up out of my presence. You're disturbing my peace. I can't even, I have no understanding for that. That was crazy to me. So I guess that's a part of this gentle parenting generation that I ain't a part of. I ain't going to tell you what I would have done to my child, because I don't know about statute of limitations on that stuff. There is no statute of limitation on murder, is there? Because I'm going to tell you, my mother told me and taught me well, I brought you in this world and I could take you out. I thought that was true. If I'm in 50, y'all know that. But if DFS existed when I was a kid, I do not know that. I never heard of DFS until much later. I was like, there's a whole division looking out for us. Where y'all was when I was getting towed out the frame? What happened? I never knew it existed at all. I'm right hand to God. I never heard of that until I was much older. I was an adult before I heard of Division of Family Services, before I knew that kids could tell on parents. No, I remember trying it. I went to my girlfriend Sharon, rest her soul, but I went over Sharon's house and I'm trying to talk loud enough about getting in trouble and getting a whipping so that Sharon's mother could hear what I was saying and maybe take some mercy on me and talk to my mother. Oh, I was hoping she would be on my side. Why she look in and tell me that's what the F you get? Next time, don't do whatever it was that I did. So I knew then these grown-ups, they not playing on different teams. They on the same team. Team whoop your tail. And different neighbors could actually get a hold of it if they really wanted to. So it was different. It was no, like now, if I tell a parent about something, I have had parents, "Why are you looking at my kids so hard? Why you not looking at the other kids? Are you so busy paying attention to my like what? Your kid is actually, you know what? You sure right. You right. You think I ever call that parent again? We good, because clearly we're not working on the same team. Lordy, I have been on here for over an hour, most of which complaining about my job, my career actually, but not necessarily at the school or the district that I am in. And may I just take the time to say now that the opinions represented by me aren't necessarily from me. Maybe I heard them from somebody else. Can I do that? Is it too late? I hope not. Anywho, never knew that we had to help his children. Had no no idea that it existed. I was like, what? And even now, when my daughter gets on my nerves, she fully grown, got her own kid. But did she say something I don't like? I threatened to drop her off at the fire station. But I never heard of that when I was a kid either. I was like, you mess around, get dropped off at the fire station. Don't have it. My granddaughter is so doggone smart. I swear, if I dropped her off, she'd be able to come back. She is able to tell me how to drive from my house to hers. Like, no, like she doesn't know the street name. She's not able to read the streets and all of that. But she like, Mimi, you go left here. Where you weren't gonna forget to go left here, were you? Or if she wants me to stop and get them little nasty nuggets at McDonald's, I really don't understand the fascination with that. Like, what? You can have good home fried chicken at home. Them nuggets have no taste, and they taste a little corny. Like there's some kind of corn flavor. But anyway, but she's able to tell me which way to go to McDonald's, how to stop, and where to go, and all that other stuff. It's like crazy. But anywho, yeah, I needed a disclaimer. I need a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by me ain't necessarily from me at all. But anywho, let's see. What was I getting out here to do? I guess I was getting out here to do a quick check-in. I blew that. I'm here for over an hour. I appreciate y'all being here with me. Please be sure to hit the like button and all of that other jazz. It's been a minute. I looked it up, and I think I haven't done a video since like December 8th. It is the 21st. How ridiculous is that? But in fairness to me, I really did try to do my 12 days live. If you missed that at the beginning, I didn't get to do it because my computer acted up. Took it to Best Buy, got it fixed, couldn't do it on my phone. Next year, I plan on buying another phone just because I hear all the other content creators talking about, I don't want to carry my phone in. No, I don't want to carry in my camera, so I'm just going to vlog the rest of this on my phone. I'm like, I would like to do that too. I want to do that. Or get one of those little, what is it called? The Cosmo cameras. One day I'm going to get real serious about it. I'm going to do all that stuff. But the way my teacher budget is set up right now and how them YouTube checks is, they but anywho, if y'all could help me by hitting that like button, I sure would appreciate it, because if I keep coming on these lives and telling the truth about what happens at other teachers' jobs that I know, because it don't really be mine, but if I keep sharing with y'all what be happening at their job and stuff, I might not have a job no more. This might be it for me. No, what am I talking about? It's a shortage out there, right? Ain't it? Y'all think that'll help me keep my job? Oh no. Now after I done talked all that talk, I'm worried. Y'all got me. Please have me. Don't let me go. Hold me tight. I'm ignorant. I need to be held on to. But they say God watches out for babies and fools. I ain't no youngin', but I ain't too smart. But anyway, it is 6 o'clock. I need to get my happy parts off of here, take a shower. I'm supposed to go back out tonight and hang out with some friends. I don't know how I'm going to do it, y'all, because I've been drinking already. We had a game and we drinking. They were doing the shots. I can't do the shots. I'll take a sip of my cocktail. And they were like, well, you at least got to take 2 or 3 to make up for the shot. So, I did I wasn't really, like, y'all, I can't get toe up in the middle of the day and then still have other stuff to do. I can't do it, y'all. I'm not grown like that yet, but one day I'm going to grow up. In the meantime, let me get my butt off. Thank y'all so much for coming in for these days of Christmas. I can't say 12 days of Christmas. I can't, because I've been missing so many days. But I appreciate y'all coming in to hang out with me for a little bit. And I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow since I got my computer. I don't know what time. It ain't like we play tomorrow, so I might as well, right? Let me know what's a good time for you all. If you leave a comment down below, we'll try that. Mind you now, it's 6 o'clock here. I'm not sure what time it is for you all there. So keep the central time in mind if you do drop a time. Otherwise, I'm just going to pop back on and we're going to talk about something other than my career. Let me try to not talk about my doggone career, and maybe I can keep my little piece of a job. In the meantime, y'all take care. Have a good evening. And let me just end this live and talk to y'all again soon.